Alright. You guys are back with the Gentleman's Look. I'm so glad that you came back to the channel. Once again, this is a channel that discusses everything that involves you into becoming a gentleman. So we have a lot of talks about things that men go through, questions that men may have, may not ask other men. So you can come here and get those discussions, get those inspirations and information. And again, you can act like you knew it all along, but just make sure that you pass it on to someone, alright? I want to recommend you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification tab so that you can be informed of all the videos that I post. I just want you guys to get the information so again you can pass it along. Alright, again, my name is Devon Darby. I'm living here in New York City, and today we're going to be talking about books. Now, I know a lot of people, especially a lot of individuals who were not exposed to reading a lot at a young age, may look at reading as boring. You need books. The reason why books are so important is because these authors come from different walks of life, different cultures. So you're constantly getting different perspectives on everything. It's almost like having a circle of friends where everybody is from different places. You'll be more well-rounded in culture so that you can be able to meet a lot of different people on the levels that they're at, because you're exposed to so many different ways of thinking and perspectives. You don't have to read anything and everything. Try to find books that interest you. So whatever you're into, you may say you don't like to read, but if you're into cars, is having a book that relates to cars going to bore you? If you're into sports, if you read sports magazines or books about sports, is that going to bore you? And the same thing goes for fashion. If you want to learn about fashion, you should pick up a few books that deal with menswear or things of that sort, so that you can learn a lot. Also, reading increases your intellect. The brain is a very powerful thing. So the more you feed it, it really stores a lot. You might have forgotten yourself, but your brain remembers a lot of things that it came across. So when you speak, sometimes, subconsciously, you just spit back certain things that you read a long time ago. So it's best to fill your brain with so much positive information to make you an intellectual, so that when you speak and the way you carry yourself, it'll just reflect all of the things that you were exposed to. Alright, guys? One of the books that I definitely want to recommend, there's a few books here, but if you're looking to increase your intellect as far as fashion, there's a book by Alan Flusser. It's called Dressing the Man. This has pretty much everything in here that discusses the gentleman's attire. It's a really good book. It's not long at all, and if you're into fashion, I would say that this is a must-read, because this guy really knows a lot, and he explains it quite well, and you get to see the origins of where certain things came from, certain menswear attires. This is one of my favorites as well. This is called The Art of Manliness. Now, this was written by a couple who was married. The name was Brett McKay and Kate McKay, and it pretty much teaches you all of the mannerisms that come along with being a man. Someone who's grew up without a father or without a male influence, this is a really good book to start off with, just to come into your own and realize how real men carry themselves. At least get a perspective, a real gentleman's perspective. Alright? What else do we have here? This is the book called Soar. Now, Soar is written by T.D. Jakes. Now, this book is really, really inspiring because it teaches you the initiative of becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own business. And not just so much starting your own business, but just taking action on anything that you want to do. It explains to you why now is a good time and a lot of the risk that has to be taken in order for you to be great. In this world, you have to take risks. Don't think because you have a job that that's not risky. That's just the risk that you was taught to take, so that you don't really understand that you're taking risks already. If you have a job, you can be fired any day. And then what? Then you're going to want to pick up a book? So just get all the information you need so you can take charge of your future the best way you can, right? Now this book right here, if I can grab it, is a pretty good book as well. This one is Think and Eat Yourself Smart. It's written by Caroline Leaf, or Caroline Leaf. I apologize if I said your name wrong. But it's a really good book because it ties in your diet with spirituality. So it will quote certain things from the Bible and related to your diet and why you should be eating consciously and also living consciously. It's a really good book for somebody who's trying to change up the way they have a relationship with food and do it from a more conscious level. I think it's a really good book to read. So I definitely recommend this one as well. All right. Now this book is by my man Steve Harvey. Oh, we have a good one today. But Steve Harvey, he wrote this book called Jump. Came out a long time ago, or a few years back, I believe. And again, it's another book for someone who's really looking to begin entrepreneurship. He explains the need to take risks and that he uses this thing where your parachute will never open if you don't jump. You'll never know how your parachute works. That analogy is pretty good because if you stay closed in and boxed in and you're afraid to make certain moves based off of failure, then you'll never know how successful you can possibly be. Failure can happen to you if you do nothing. So I'd rather, quote unquote, fail at something that I'm actually trying to do than to sit around and not make a move and still fail. Now that right there is not a story you want to tell your daughter or your son. Now, this is a book called Dad. Did I really need it? No. But again, I like to get different perspectives of how people dealt with becoming a father at their first time and things like that. And I just wanted to add it to my own intellect. Again, knowledge is infinite, so you want to keep reading and just read everything that pertains to you that interests you, because these different perspectives is what will get you through the woes of life. A lot of people get really, really, I mean, chronically depressed because they don't have any other perspectives, as it relates to what they're going through. So they always feel like no one understands them and that they're the only ones that's going through what they're going through. And that's why reading books is a really good thing, because these are all friends. Friends that really can't do you no wrong like that because you don't really know them that much. But these are all different people, different perspectives. So you can pull from them. And if you choose the right books, books that are positive, these are all positive people that's in your circle. So that's why you want to read, because it helps you to not be in that depression type of state, because you have so much knowledge and wisdom about various things. All right. Last but not least, there's this book by Robert Greene. It's called 48 Laws of Power. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not a bad book. It's not a bad book. I really read it because there was just so much talk about it. But it teaches you a lot of ways to deal with different people with different intellects and different mindsets and different objectives, and how to maneuver yourself intellectually with people to get the things that you want. I would say this book is good because you never know who you're going to come across, and you don't know what their intentions are. So reading this book kind of opens you up to the minds of different people and how they move to get certain things out of you, and vice versa. So you'll just be hip to different intellects and how people use that for power. But I wouldn't really try to use this as a manipulation type of book, because that's not what we're about. That's not what men do. What's for us is for us. And we don't have to manipulate anybody into getting the things that we need. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. All right? But these are just some books that I recommend. I've read a few other books, but I just picked these because I felt like some are popular, and I just feel like these are really good books. These are ones that I really stand by. There's a nice book as well called The Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Pretty good guy, man. He stood for a lot of things. A lot of people know about Marcus Garvey already. Considered to be a righteous leader. Had a big movement because he wanted to, bring people back to their origins, back to Africa. It's a really good book because it just teaches you a lot about, you know, African history and the pride that a lot of people had and the petitions and things that people engaged in for the sake of freedom, you know, freedom of mind, freedom of spirit, you know, just very proud people. Yeah, that happens when you're filming. But I guess that's letting me know that this video is coming to a conclusion. So I hope I influenced you guys to start reading and picking up a few books that tie in with your interests. Trust me, you can't go wrong with reading. It's not a nerd thing. Forget what you heard. Reading is what's up. You have to read. You gotta read, man. When you become a father or you become, you know, someone who is admirable, you know, you want to be of intellect. You want to be able to share some things from different perspectives. All right. Now that my books have fell, you're watching The Gentleman's Look. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification tab. Be informed of all of the videos that I post. And I'm happy that you guys are back and sticking with me. I'll see you in the next video. I love you all. I'm sending you off in book style, wherever they are. Bye-bye.